luxury, jumps on a Boeing jet, leaves behind a family, no regrets. He's got a birthday on your old Shanghai, eyes are on Mrs. Lai, the reason why. While in Brisbane, the tears roll strong. Chinese whispers called him to Hong Kong. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave behind the begging for the Luxy show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Archie's chasing dreams in the mystic land. Mrs. Lai brings coffee to his hand. Family's calls echo on the phone. He's miles away, lost but he's not alone. In old Shenzhen's glow, he likes to stray. With Mrs. Lai they bonk till the light of day. Pack up your bags and off you go. He's not showing up to New York, what show? Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Though the tears roll down in Brisbane town, Archie's 3-inch dick flops all around. Celebrations in the neon night, forgetting home he's chasing new Asian delight. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave the begging for the beach ball show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Weeks later, Archie leaves his playground, comes back home, he's Brisbane bound. Comes up with stories that he's going bust, has to fool the punters to gain their trust. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave the begging for the beach ball show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Archie spent the punter's money, he's in a fix. Spins a story that he can't eat bricks. All the lonely simps believe his scam. Grab all their cash, shove it in his hand. Pack up your bags and off you go. He didn't bother with the New York watch show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Comes on streams, he cries poor again. His mate Tan gives him $5 grand, maybe 10. Archie thinks he's a big swing dick, cause the punters fall for his gypsy shtick. Pack up your bags and off you go. Didn't bother with the New York watch show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore.
Hello, hello, hello. This is the Luxury live stream channel, and we have Mr. Goldberg. How are you today? I'm back in the studio making content. What's going on?
Are you aware of what's happening to your audio? Guys, it's just me. He sounds like a fucking, like a little person.
Hello?
Much better. What the fuck was that? Right. What was that?
No, that was.
He sounded like a munchkin. Hello? It's like I can't even do it.
How does that sound now?
Is that a sound effect? Are you doing that on purpose? Because you sound like a sound effect right now. Now you're mute. You're mute. You are muted, sir. Oh dear God. Muted. No, there's no sound. I cannot hear you. Now, mind you, this might be our most successful show if you leave it that way. Guys, type 1.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now you're fine. Stop. Don't play. Don't touch that again. What have you done? What have you done?
I'll give this to you, okay?
Wait, is that a lubricant? Ooh, but is it silicone or water-based?
Silicone.
Well, I guess we finally gotten to that point in our relationship.
Hey, I got a friend of mine who's gay who's just told me he started to feel things for ladies. What the hell does that mean?
Lady
Is he
boy.
a traitor to the cause?
I think he meant lady boys. Or maybe desperation is setting in. I don't know.
No, he's got a boyfriend. He's in a long relationship.
Well, that's the problem right there. They don't even like each other. He's no longer.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Speak of the devil, look who we've got here. We've got ALIX joining us. Hey,
Speaking of closeted gay people, ALIX, how are you? And how are we today?
Well,
Alex, I was
I
offered.
promised. Yeah. Hey,
Yes.
Mark. Hey, Archie. I promised I would join.
I thought that was just a threat.
Oh, you're a big David Bowie fan.
He was very
David
androgynous.
Bowie.
He was androgynous.
David Bowie.
Androgynous.
Look at that on his wall. He's got
Yes, I see
David
that.
Bowie on the wall.
Alex looks a little
David Bowie.
confused.
I
Are you
have
confused?
Hendrix on the other one.
I love David Bowie. China Girl. Heroes. I like
Starman.
Heroes. I think
Here.
Heroes.
I got. See Hendrix on that wall there.
Ziggy
See?
Stardust. I see. Well, I think that Jimi Hendrix would have been a top and David Bowie a bottom, but that's just.
Well, David Bowie did swing both ways. Did you know that?
Hendrix,
Yes,
didn't he?
Ask Mick Jagger. He knows all about that.
Yeah, well, no, I promised I would join, even due to the comical difference in time. It's a little after 1 a.m. here locally, so I literally went to bed with an alarm and then woke up for you,
Oh my
Archie.
God.
And you got out of bed and got dressed for this?
Yes.
No, I must admit I didn't bother to change. This is I laid down wearing this. I took the hat off.
Flannel PJs. Nice.
No, I always want to have something interesting for you, Archie. I want to show you. I have. Can you identify?
Holy shit! That's like a 70s television. Is that a TV?
It's a theremin.
A theremin, like that's the famous instrument. Theremin. Ooh. You know, Percy Granger played around with that a bit. You know Percy Granger?
I've heard of the man. This is a Moog Theramini.
What year is that from? What year is that from?
Well, this is actually a relatively modern device. You could buy them today. It's just the design dates back from like the 80s. It screams so, you almost it should almost come with its own go-go girls and cocaine or something.
Mike, can you give us the entire history of the theremin? Because I have a feeling you probably know about it.
No, I can't. I know it's an instrument. It's kind of used as a musical instrument, and it's operated by like
these are antennas.
Proximity of your hands.
Yeah, these are antennas.
And you move them around, and you can make it make sound.
Noises.
Yeah,
Mike, you did know about. Mike, you knew all about it. Give yourself credit. You did know.
There you go.
You're like a Renaissance.
Hey, how's it going, Mike?
It's going well.
Always nice.
Yeah.
Always nice.
Mike, I'm drinking something that comes from your part of the world. This is a Sauvignon Blanc from California.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
What winery?
You know what? I'm really hesitant to tell. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you in the private chat because I don't want to say. It's very expensive. I don't want the guys to know how much I spent on this.
No, wine is always nice. Well, hold it, Mark. You're talking to all of these people who drop comical amounts of money on little pieces of metal. You can be open about your wine.
No, I have a really bad.
I'm wearing my silver Snoopy flex.
See, here's my flex. All the money that I don't put into wine, I put into watches, and I'm wearing a proper Rolex, and that's why this is Mike. This is from the Winking Owl. Which is sold at Aldi, but is really produced by Gallo.
Oh wow, okay.
But it's kind of drinkable. Patek.
I'm wearing the Paddock today. Paddock, baby.
There you go. Oh, here we go. My friend let me borrow his. He has a vintage.
Oh, it's lovely.
Vacheron.
Yes.
Very, very tiny postage stamp.
Beautiful.
You could actually mail that.
Look how it has. I think it has the thinnest production hand wound in the industry. I think, which I think is a distinction it still holds to this day.
Actually, I think JLC went crazy on that, but it is very. I think that'd be a K001 movement. I think. Patel Philippe, $2. So did you go to Sydney and come back with nothing? Look, I went there. I was involved in a big swap situation. The problem is
Wife swapping.
He was giving me. No, it was watches. The problem is I was offered really low prices wholesaling my stuff.
So you
get-
flew all the way to Sydney just to get stiffed, lowball.
Well, I was coming down anyhow to have a car day. I bought this ticket ages ago, and yeah.
What's it cost to fly?
Can you hear the chime?
What does it cost to fly from Brisbane to Sydney?
It's about $200.
All
Yeah,
right.
we can hear that chime.
Not bad at all. Yes, we can. That's lovely.
Isn't that?
We can hear it whirligigging. Sounds like a railroad car.
You got a little bit of vibrato. You got a little bit of vibrato in there.
Vibrato. Okay, Patel Philippe super chat.
Patel Philippe, $2. Show us the 9C concept car and ALIX make the snake thoughts.
Yeah.
Show us the car. Show us the car.
The C9.
This is a concept, rendering, but it is fucking pretty goddamn amazing looking.
Show us.
It's not a picture of me, that's for sure.
This is the vet. I'll call it up. This is a
vet started
vet.
as C1 and ended. C8s are out right now, and the C9 is maybe the next generation, and this is the prototype, or supposedly
It's
the
like
prototype.
a catamaran. It's like a catamaran.
Well, it reminds me of about 10 different hypercars, like the Gumpert
Very
Apollo,
aerodynamic.
some of the Bugattis, the Koenigsegg, the Pagani. All these hypercars they're all taking on kind of like a new shape. I think due to necessity, it's just these cars all go over 250 miles an hour, so I think they have to be this shape to go that fast without getting airborne, is my guess. Because
once you put a lump of clay in the wind tunnel, what are you going to get?
Yeah, well, wind tunnels, don't account for like humps and bumps in the road. Look, I mean,
Oh, please! If that hit a pothole at 200 miles an hour, they would be picking up pieces of it for a week.
Oh, I'd probably zing over it without even noticing it.
Well, if any car hit something at 200 miles an hour, you'd be picking up pieces. I mean, it's on a flat surface. This is an amazing concept.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I don't believe it's meant
at
for
that
off-roading.
speed. The downdraft would be comical amounts of pressure.
Yes.
Yeah, but again, I believe the big scoopy front end and the big.
Archie, you want to click one of these so we can actually see it?
It probably has a wing that is retractable. That stands up.
True. They keep picking footballers' hypercars out of the forestry at the edges of highways all the time.
How about that Autobahn?
Well, I love the Autobahn. I was a traveling salesman on the German Autobahn for 10 years back in the 80s and 90s.
Wow, cool.
What were you selling?
When I got out
What were you selling?
Well, when I first got out of the military, I was selling high-end audio equipment. But once you have the paperwork to go on base and get into the facility, you wind up working for whoever needs a sales manager. So in the decade plus I worked selling to the PX system, I wound up working for like 5 different companies. So, audio, then you wound up selling like Textan belts and Wembley ties and cross pens. And then you eventually wind up selling either alcohol or tobacco. And I wound up working as the sales manager for the distributor for Heineken and Anheuser-Busch and Robert Mondavi right at the end of the Cold War. Yeah, I got a plaque from the USO from Desert Storm.
Our family sells our grapes to Mondavi.
That's a gorgeous car. That's a really nice
Did you notice the tunnel underneath the center?
Yeah.
It's a total aerodynamic masterpiece is what it is.
Oh, so it was a Formula One car, if you think about it that way.
Well, probably, but you look at the size of those wheels; they're probably like 24s. They're huge.
Yeah, another example that there better not be a mistake in the road, man, because there's not a lot of flex in those wheels.
Yeah, well, like there was those Mercedes that both got airborne over that one hump on a certain track. They just both Mercedes, like when they came over the top, they just went woof, 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 40 feet in the air, and one landed up. The first one landed back on the track, I think on its feet, and the other one
That doesn't
just
look
flew
anything
off
like
into
me.
the,
Does
into
that,
the
Marky? Does that look anything like me? Look at this, Marky.
Not
He's
quite,
turned
not
me into
quite.
a toy. That's with JD. That's with JD there. Look at that. Hilarious. I'll tell
That is
you
cute.
something, a thing or two, Mikey. I went down to Sydney, right? And I had a Maserati weekend. Let me tell you something. The people at Ferrari are pretentious fucks. I got thrown out of Ferrari.
Quelle
Okay?
surprise.
Because they didn't. Oh, no photos. No photos. Ah, fuck off. They're just a bunch of arrogant sons of bitches. I'll show you.
So is
This is
Richard
my
Mill.
friend's Maserati. This is him coming to pick me up in the Maserati.
wow,
And
he's got a
I
carbon
gotta tell
fiber
you,
hood.
Stradale. It's a Stradale. It's a Maserati Gran Turismo Stradale. What do
So
you
was
think,
he wears
guys?
a
Does that look
Daytona, doesn't
clean?
he?
Actually, he was wearing a Patek Perpetual calendar. Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
that's
that
the
would
guy
make
who
sense
wanted
with
to.
that car.
Yeah. What do
That
you
would
think
make
of
sense
that?
with
It's
that
a
car.
It's a
beautiful
beautiful car.
2016. It wasn't new. He didn't pick it up new, but it's
Which is better? Which is better, that or a DB11?
Oh, I'd totally rather have a DB11.
11.
Yeah,
But
because
it's a different price point. Different
my
price
uncle-in-law
point.
has, my uncle-in-law. Well, the Satan's Kitten uncle has the DB11.
Can you pull it up? Can I see it? Or I'll look it up, I guess, on my phone. I can do that. But this is gorgeous. What is
I
it?
just wanted to say to you guys.
Maserati or who makes the
So
DB11?
call up a DB11. Here we go. Here's a DB11. I'm just calling it up, Mikey.
Aston
Calling
Martin.
it up now. Look at this.
Aston
That's
Martin,
a DB11. I gotta say, I like them. I do kind of like the Maserati. I'm sorry. I kind of prefer the Maserati. I prefer the Maserati.
I like the other one.
I think the DB11 shows more coach work, better coach work.
What do you think?
They're both beautiful cars.
Aston Martin just has that certain level of posh.
Well,
Yeah,
Aston Martin's not that popular in America. Like a DB Vantage, Aston Martin Vantage. They're a little bit. They just look like a normal coupe. They're not super fancy. You know the Vantage.
They're kind of plain.
You can
You
get
know,
them
like
cheap.
Yeah, so is a
today's
Rolex
world.
sub.
I know.
So
in
is a
today's
Rolex
world, though,
sub.
I know. It's just an observation.
Old money. Old
These-
money's plain.
Both of these two cars we just pulled up are also kind of plain in a way, in that they don't have like a lot of aero stuff sticking up and out. They're smooth, clean designs.
We got a
street car
super
designs.
chat. Dirk Diggler, $2. Dave, have a friend he palms off. Shit cars.
Clean.
No, Dave actually loses badly on cars. That's a beautiful Nomos. Look at that Nomos there.
Clean. And
It's
of
very
course
clean.
and of course it's all mullet because it's party in the back.
Patel Philippe, $5. Pair of watch to this car with photo. 300 SL. 300 SL. Let's call it up. I'm going to call this up on the screen now. 300 SL. Here we go. Just adding it to the stage. Here we go. It's a Mercedes 300 SL. It's the Gull Wing. I would say with that, you'd want to put a $24.99 Patek. I'd say a 20 Patek. I would say a Patek. It's the one John Lennon had. $24.99 99. I'll just call it up. That's the one John Lennon had. Perpetual calendar chronograph.
Nice.
Next one
nice
is a
piece.
DB6. Actually, my friend has a DB6. Believe you me, that is a absolute stunning car. DB6. I would have to say with a DB6.
Long A1.
Breguet.
Long A1.
And that's the guy who owns the DB6. He has the guy with the Breguet has a Breguet perpetual calendar. That's what he's got, a perpetual. That's what he has. This is the one he has. Yes, that's the one. So I would
Call
say
it a Long A1.
Breguet would be a okay.
Yeah, I think the Long A would be a
250
nice
LM.
one.
What's a 250 LM? That's a Ferrari. 250 LM. You know what? That'd have to be some sort of rare.
Millimiglia. A Millimiglia.
That's a
That's too
that's
cheap,
the
too
model
cheap.
before the
Too cheap.
P4, P4,
Too
P5.
cheap. I'd say you'd have to have some sort of like a Paul Newman Daytona owned by Paul
Yeah.
Newman. You know, owned
Blanc
by
Paul Mark
Paul
20.
Newman.
Blanc Paul Mark 20.
And we got a 1900 ZZ Zagato. 1900 Zagato. I think this is an Alfa Romeo. Oh, fucking beautiful. That'd have to be some sort of Pam, because it's Italian. It'd have to be some sort of Pam. That's what it would have to be.
Super chat. Did you do this super chat right here?
Yes, I did. That's Dirk Diggler, the Stigler. $2. Dave, have a friend. He palms off his shit cars too. He actually does badly. I'm just going to get a headache. I got a back. I don't know why. I got into the Maserati and I think I hurt my back. Can you believe that?
Trying to like squish yourself in? Was there
I don't
pressure?
know. Fuck. My back is sore as. I'm just going to get a IV Purifin. IV.
How about a studio underdog for this car?
How about a scotch? If you get a scotch, you'll feel
Something cute and funky.
Missed
Studio,
one.
studio underdog.
You know,
Well, we
the
got-
Cartier
we fixed
crash.
fix the problem.
Oh, I'll get a hunger buster. Let me get a tablet. I'll be right back.
A hunger buster. A hunger buster is a tablet. I don't know. How's that a hunger buster?
I don't know.
It's only 10 o'clock in the morning. I feel like he's maybe he's not. He needs
It's 1:30 for me. I'm good for about another half hour, and I got to crash. I got stuff to do in the
Benny,
morning.
what are you doing
Unfortunately,
tomorrow? What's happening? What are you going to do? What do we eat for breakfast in Germany? I want to know this.
well, they do a continental kind of breakfast. You know, a brötchen, right? A little bit of butter, some jam, some nice coffee,
They do like cold
maybe a
cuts.
soft-boiled egg.
Don't they do cold cuts there at breakfast?
Yeah, cold cuts.
Cold meats.
Cold. Also, you know, soft-boiled egg is hot,
Yeah.
but
I like you know what? I'm very
normally
fond
in a
of,
continental breakfast, the only things that are hot are the coffee and the egg. Everything else is cold.
True. Weird. Funny. Hey, how do you feel about a Weisswurst?
About a
Weisswurst.
Weisswurst.
Yeah.
Weisswurst are really
Oh, yeah.
nice,
Yeah, me too.
but you got to remember, don't eat the skin. And a true Weisswurst you should eat before noon.
Wait. Oh, look, I'm channeling Narc. Wait. You mean you don't eat the skin, which implies that you suck the meat out of the skin? Is that how do you?
No, you gently separate the skin with your knife and fork, peel the worst,
Kidding.
and then eat the worst.
Is that right? So, but if you put them on the grill, I mean, I guess they're usually sautéed there, or they steam. How they make them?
What are you
Well,
talking about?
in Germany, a
Sausages,
true
white
Weisswurst is
sausage.
boiled.
Veal, boiled.
What is
veal
it?
Sausage. Weisswurst.
Weisswurst. Is it a sausage?
Yes, it's a sausage. And in the old-timey days, it would go bad quickly because it didn't have preservation technology. So it was literally illegal at one point to sell them after lunchtime because they would be guaranteed to be spoiled if they were made the evening before.
I see.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. That's my favorite German sausage.
Well,
Wow.
if you get it, and if you go to Bavaria and get it, it's boiled. They'll serve it to you in a pot of
With
hot
like
water.
a potato pancake and applesauce. Isn't that like a
Oh, Potato pancakes and applesauce are wonderful. But you know what the Germans do that I love is they do like deer and boar sausage. They'll do wild animal sausage, which you gotta love.
Oh yeah, no, I eat it all the time, and there's nothing better in this world.
Ah, yes, I love the sausage. Sausage is processed meats, Mike.
Processed super chats.
Processed. Patel Philippe, $2. AC3, make an ideal 5-piece hunger buster for now. Alex and me, we both have the Zenith. You know that? We got the Zenith. We've got the Zenith. We own the Zenith. That's my headache. I got my back pain tablet. I don't know why my back.
Well, that's a bunch of them.
Oh!
How many are you taking? How many was that? How many milligrams did you just swap to? Oh, looked like a lot more. All right. Can you follow that up with some scotch to really rot a hole right through your stomach?
I'm so tempted to have a scotch, but I'm going right to bed.
Alex, 5-piece hunger buster. Here we go. I would go Rolex Submariner, no date. I would go. Oh, we got a date. I would go the Zenith. The Zenith was a great chronograph. I would go as a GMT. We got a Tudor GMT. What do we got as a GMT?
No, we got the Mont Blanc.
Oh fuck! Wah, wah, wah.
GMT.
Tudor
GMT Chrono.
Black Bay Pro. Tudor Black Bay Pro. That's what I would go for as the.
All right. Sanzupri GMT.
Okay, I would go. Then I would go. What else I would go for? I'd go for a Reverso.
Apparently, you need a G-Shock. It'll be a step up.
And then you know what I would go for? I tell you what I'd go for. I'd go for a PAM. Oh, Breitling! Look at the Breitling.
Is that a Navitimer?
Yes,
Navitimer GMT.
Yeah, this is. I really like the Navitimer style. I like their bezels, the way they taper inwards. You know,
and it's a slide rule.
For those of us who enjoy a circular side roll,
you can use it for dead reckoning in an airplane. If your electronics go out,
reckoning, I'm definitely dead. Dead reckoning my eye. I hate a slide rule. That's why I don't like the Navitimer. Too many.
Because the slide rule?
Yeah, that's exactly what
I love showing how to do multiplication on it.
You know what? I fucking hated those, and I had to learn them in like junior high school because I'm old, as you know. You're also old, but yeah.
I am also archaic, my friend.
I know, but
I'll be right back. I am going to get a whiskey.
I hated math. I hated science. I hated chemistry.
I'm going to get a whiskey too. Fuck this shit.
You know what? Fuck you guys. I got a wine. Mike, what do you got there, Mike? Besides,
I'm not drinking anything right now. I got nothing. No, I'm not drinking.
Why is it?
I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. One should always have
leapfrog milk. It's not a leapfrog milk. It's a single
I can
malt
go
whiskey.
grab one of my soda pops out of the fridge, but I don't drink.
Wait.
So.
Is it a zero carb soda pop?
Yeah, it's sugar free. It's called ice. It's sold at Safeway. It's called Ice.
Oh, Singleton, I had that. That's okay. I'm having a Talisker Sky.
Oh, Talisker's good stuff.
Yeah. Now
I like high-end booze.
I kind of wish I could enjoy beer and these drinks with you guys, but I stopped drinking and
good idea, Mike. Don't drink.
More power on you, man. More power on you.
Warm milk.
Well, when like 5 years went by and I had half a beer at a party, and it was just like, I couldn't even take more than a couple sips, and I realized, like, okay, I don't want to go back there.
I got a super chat. Patel Philly, $5. Alex, now that you poured a dram, give us the drum on your best picks for watches to pick up in 2025.
Christopher Ward. I think the new
Cubitus.
Christopher Ward Open Heart is really beautiful.
Jesus. You know what? I got to confess. What do you think of the Bel Canto?
I think the Bel Canto is wonderful. I really do. I think the Bel Canto is great. And then they have this new one that has the exposed balance wheel. and a escapement wheel. I think that's cool. I think Christopher Ward is doing some really cool stuff. I would say the new Christopher Ward is worth picking up, and you can go either way. You can go with that new open heart they have, but they also have a new bel canto, so you can go, because I keep thinking about the bel canto. The only reason I don't buy it is it really is a showpiece dress watch.
It's a
And
pretty
my
good deal, but I
problem-
would really worry about that module and the service. That'd be my concern. Would be the service. Super chat is kind of be. I figure it might be a touchy service, and expensive too.
Super chat, super chat, super chat.
But
We got a super chat. William Gaudry in €2. Love the Pepsi mark. The best on Jubilee.
Look at that Juby. I do. I love. You know what I really love about the Jubilee, besides just the flashiness of it, is the dramatic taper, and also I don't know if you all know this, but the clasp on the GMT is much shorter than the clasp on even the 40 millimeter.
Good point. Good point.
Right, because you don't need.
Wow.
It's not hiding the glide lock, so the clasp is much smaller, shorter, etc.
So
I think the Land Dweller is the watch to get this year. I think the Land Dweller.
Yeah.
Cubitus and Land Dweller are definitely two that need to be on the
I'm on
list.
the list already
And the
for
Land Dweller,
See what-
the Land Dweller is a shot across the bow on all of the people who want to fake it, because the Land Dweller is going to be a really hard watch to fake, because it's an open back with their latest escapement. You mean you're going to have to copy their escapement to make a fake of that watch. It's not
Yeah,
going to be.
you know, that
You're
is
not going to
actually-
see.
that's
You're not going. You're going to any of the
excellent
fakes
point.
that you see of that watch are going to be garbage.
That's a very, very good point, and one that I haven't heard before. That will be quite hard to fake because the movement is unique, proprietary, and
It's a
branched and
proprietary escapement.
Yeah.
So unless you're going to talk somebody at one of the silicon foundries to make you the parts, you're going to be screwed anyway. And even if you could make the parts, see, this is what I was talking about in some of the other shows I've had, is when you get to the high end with the most complicated movements, all the arguments about fakes and being made in China or being made by other people go right out the window, because it's full of shit.
Yes.
Because there's no way on God's green earth that someone's going to fake that escapement.
Mm.
Well, good point.
However, on something like a Nautilus or an Aquanaut, they will take the movement out of a less expensive Patek and put it into a non-Patek case.
Then it's
So
a
that
Frankenstein.
happens.
But that's a Frankenstein. That's not a fake. I mean, it's also bad and it's also illegal. But the fact that they had to use a lesser factory movement to fake the factory product, it's a Frankenstein.
We've got a Patel Philippe. We got William. We caught up. Love the Pepsi mark.
We are indeed.
I want to say to you, I had a big swap situation. I'll just tell you what happened there, Alex. I had.
Tell me, Archie.
I was offered a swap. I was offered one of these. I'll show you what I was offered. Two things. I was offered a Patek perpetual calendar. Firstly, I wanted to show. Oh, beautiful Cartier.
Nice.
Cartier.
Let me show you. I was offered this. What do you think of this? This is a Vacheron retro day-date retro gray. What do you think of that?
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Oh yeah, we were looking at this the other day. I
Oh
love
my
this
God,
one.
that's
I
beautiful.
love it to death.
I was offered a deal swap, two of my Breguet Type 21 and my JLC chronograph for it. Or I was offered a swap with my Bluesy, but I just couldn't pull the trigger.
No, keep the bluesy. Got to keep the
The
bluesy.
problem is the dealer, I tell you honestly, the dealer was offering me prices which are really low ball prices. You understand low ball prices? That's what I was offered. These were low ball prices, and
Well, the market
I
is
just didn't
soft
want to
right
do it.
now.
The other watch I was offered a swap for. I was offered a swap for this. Have a look at this. This perpetual calendar. But the problem is I had to swap so much stuff. The Patek, the Submariner, Bluesy. I had to throw in the JLC, the Zenith, the PAM. So much stuff had to be tossed in. You know what I'm saying?
He's making you jump too high. No, he's making you jump too high. Not worth it.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
that's what you know. What I love my Zenith. I kind of thought about it, and I just
Never
love
get rid of the
Why?
Zenith. No,
watches.
never get rid of the Zenith, Archie. It's too
He's already-
classic a piece.
He's already gotten rid of the Zenith.
And
It's too
if you're already
classic.
attached to what you
the
have,
rebuy.
and you have trepidation about like these trade, sideways trade or whatever, don't do it. Because the last thing you want to do is have buyer's remorse after the fact.
No
You bet
shit.
deals will always come along. Okay, so if you don't jump on it now, the same deal will come up later. Especially like let's say you target one of these. You can put the word out and find it easily enough. Archie is just working within the range of what his friend has, and his friend is willing to trade. But I agree with Archie. If he's lowballing you on all your shit in trade
It's
for
all
one
wholesale,
nice watch,
prices.
Keslowitz joining us. And,
Keslowitz.
member chat from Rusty.
So if you go with something that is relatively inexpensive but gives you half of the. I mean, because the thing is that okay, Patek is nice,
is
but
good.
Longines you can get
Gotta hurt,
Longines
fucker.
cheap,
It's gotta hurt.
relatively cheap.
Super chat. Super chat.
Hello,
Hey,
Keslo.
Paul.
Hey,
Hey,
we
Paul.
got Rusty'sWatches.com. Rusty's Watches. Check it out to compare prices. New member. Thank you, Rusty. Look, I let the deal go through, Keslo. The reason was I had to give him so much.
I wanted to see the 5320. I wanted to see the 5320, Paul.
Yeah, we all wanted something, but it's just too hard for me to do, man.
I was really hoping to see that perpetual today.
Oh, you're on your bike. Wow.
We're on the bike, baby. How was your trip to Sydney?
Why do you look like a conehead from Saturday Night Live?
Because his
Conehead.
visor's up.
It was very, very good. It was fantastic. Sydney was
Yeah,
amazing.
Audio is awesome.
Maserati driving. But
you took it out?
My friend took it out. But I just kind of think myself with the swaps, everything was so wholesale. It's just not good for me,
I think you should have done it. I think you fucked this. I think you should call him and get back in there. Tell him to overnight it to you. It's so much better. You'll be so much happier with it.
I don't know. I just didn't feel. I wanted to. It's a great watch, okay?
It
Jimmy,
is.
I'm surprised at the audio quality.
yeah.
Keslowitz, yes.
Do you have
I think
do you have a microphone in your camera, in your helmet? Is it Bluetooth to the camera?
Exactly.
Very
Is
nice.
it coming in clear?
Well, yes. You guys do know that Keslowitz is a professional sound engineer. You know that.
Well, he's been helping me out with choices of cameras to buy. And,
Yeah, Mike, did you pick up that Insta360?
No, I haven't yet. I kind of blew all my extra money for the month on this hunting trip I just went on. So,
Oh, nice.
Never regret experiences.
Well, no, it was a family get together kind of thing. My dad and his wife came out, and we had a big family, get together, and it was well worth it.
I would imagine.
Nice.
The camera will always be there. My dad's 90. There's not going to be too many more of these get-togethers.
Right. Yeah, that's good that you go on those. Where'd you guys go?
We went to Central California near King City. In between King City and Coalinga, in the mountains. We have a 15,000-acre ranch that we hunt everything on.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Did you get any? Did you get anything?
No. We saw.
My landlord's a big game hunter. The guy who lives upstairs in this. I live in a villa in Wiesbaden. I have a small apartment in a villa in Wiesbaden, and the guy who owns the villa is a real big shot lawyer, and he's a big game hunter. He goes to Africa and hunts and everything.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I don't know if I really like that. These animals are sort of endangered now, aren't they?
Well, I mean, it all depends on how you look at it and what animals you hunt for, because like he hunts things like gazelle and stuff, herd animals, and a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
those are on ranches that are maintained for them. He's
Yeah.
not one of those guys that goes and like tries to shoot an elephant or a rhino or stuff.
Yeah.
He's more of the old school hunter, very much with the land. Like he was out in the yard today trimming bushes and stuff. There's the hunter that wants to get the big game, and then there's the hunter that wants to like live with the nature. You know what I mean?
He would just eat them all. He's man.
Papa Joe's,
Yeah,
that pizza guy.
You gotta let him reproduce to eat them, right?
Papa Joe's, the pizza guy.
Papa John's.
Papa
Yeah.
John.
He's a big hunter as well, isn't he? I heard.
Terry,
Yeah, but I think he's one of the douchebag kind of hunters. Whereas my landlord's going to bring sausage to my barbecue party next week. So if my philosophy is you eat the animals, it's okay.
Wait, what kind of sausage? The important is like hundreds of different German sausages. Hundreds.
I didn't catch that, Mark.
Aren't there's like hundreds of different German sausages? Which one is it?
Well, this is he's got some like deer and gazelle and some other sausage of that nature.
Very nice.
Jimmy's asking Alex if you're having a sausage fest. That's a good point. You are stealing my thunder there, but okay. You can share.
Oh,
What a great drive there.
a lot of
I gotta
people,
tell you, Alex,
don't know.
Marky, I gotta tell you, I just didn't feel the swap was good because I had so much pieces I had to swap.
You'd have been
I
down
mean,
to
No, he asked you to jump too high. He was asking you to jump too high, Archie. Don't take that.
And I'm not going to do pieces just because people say, oh, they hate this. I love my Zenith. My Zenith is actually something I really, really love.
It was my Grail piece at one point.
Yes.
Well,
It's a
to
beautiful-
summarize, I think you were willing to take a pinky, but not the whole fist.
Exactly.
I mean, you got to remember it's an expensive piece. You're gonna have to trade a lot for it. Is it just that you want to keep the box filled, or what's the? I don't get the reasoning.
I get more
Yeah, but
enjoyment.
the other watches are expensive too.
All right.
The watches they want Archie to give up are expensive too.
Yeah, but it's like equal value,
Yeah, but I mean, he's got a bunch of nice watches. I mean, he has like zero reason to really trade any of them off. They're all
Yeah, but
nice.
this is a Grail Paddock. Okay, let me tell you. When it comes to Paddock, this is what Ben Clymer says. There's Paddocks, and then there's real Paddocks. Okay, that 5320 is the real Paddock. Okay, it's a Grand Complication. Archie has never owned a Grand Comp from Patek Philippe. The Perpetual Calendar is the ultimate complication. He's overdue.
It is. It is. It's
Is
expensive.
that the one on the left?
The one on the right,
The one on the right. Oh, okay.
that's a perpetual calendar.
The other one's a world time. It tells you the time around the world.
Oh, I see. And what is a perpetual calendar? That tells you
It
what?
does the months
It knows
without
leap
being
years. It
changed.
knows how many days in the month, and it knows leap years. It's amazing.
No, this is a good world timer.
And a day-night indicator. Yeah, I love it. Love them both.
Well, and a perpetual also has a leap year indicator, which is the lower window on the right side of the face, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, not all of them have it like that. Some of them use a sub-dial with an arrow pointer. But yes, the 5320 in particular, yes. It uses the aperture stop
That's
now.
the leap year indicator.
Right.
But that is a beautiful watch. That really is a beautiful watch.
Beyond beautiful. Beyond beautiful. It's absolutely. Marky, what do you think, Marky? Do you like them or not?
Yeah, no, they're gorgeous.
But
Yes.
the problem is once you get to that kind of money, right? Maybe just a complete calendar moon phase that you have to change every month isn't too bad.
No. It's the poetry that you never have to change it.
It's the fact
I
that
get
you're
that.
never gonna.
I
listen,
get
that thing
that.
would have
I
to-
get
Triple
that.
calendar. Everyone does a triple calendar. JLC, Vacheron. It's the
reality-
perpetual that's special.
The reality is that fella has one, and he just sets the time when he wants to wear it, and that's it. Because nobody lets that live in a watch winder. Nobody fucks with the golden toothpick. What you have to do to set these and keep them wound is nuts, and nobody does it.
Well, you got to
'cause, I
keep
mean,
it on a
when you think
winder.
about-
That's a no-brainer.
Well, when you think about, a complete calendar versus a perpetual, the perpetual is way more elegant. But then again, Frederic Constant's got that beautiful perpetual that's like for under 10. I mean, just under 10. But
Oh, Frederick Constance. I don't know about that. Oh, that. Oh.
It's okay. It's not just that it's a perpetual; it's that it's a Patek perpetual.
all right. You gotta be specific, more specific, Because IWC makes a nice perpetual.
They do. They've
That
got a
is-
fantastic. Yes, they do.
I had thought about getting the GST, the IWC GST perpetual. I was thinking about one of them. They're not bad.
See, a
Tell
lot
me,
of them
Alex,
display they display the year though, and then if you accidentally go past the correct date, you can never bring it back.
I don't know
You're gonna
why,
send
but I
it
just
to
was.
IWC.
Well, you can take it to your watchmaker.
Where is Kay? Speaking of which, what happened to Kay? Kay, if you're out there, please join us. And this might Kay.
Yeah, Kay's wonderful.
Right?
She really is. She's one of the
I'll be back.
few women that can hang with the guys.
True.
Alex, I don't think you've met Kay. She's a buxom, beautiful, wonderful woman who likes to cook.
I'll have to do that, Mark. Maybe at Geneva. I'll be at Geneva Watch Days this year.
Is that like a garage sale in Geneva?
No, well, there's Watches and Wonders, which is the big show, and then there's
Watches
Geneva
and
Watch
Wankers.
Days.
Yeah, Archie went to Watches and Wankers. He's already been there and back.
Yeah, I didn't think my channel was big enough for me to go because nobody would pay attention. But I go to, but Geneva Watch Days is much smaller and it's not as pretentious.
So you'll be, you'd rather be a big fan.
Well, the watch companies, they basically rent suites in the local hotels, so you're on the you're on the lakefront, but then like you go into the suite that Laterer is running or whatever, and you get to talk to them and all. It's more intimate. It's not as big a show, which is why I like it. And of course, I'll do Dusseldorf again. The Dusseldorf watch show is always a good one too.
What about Stuttgart?
Stuttgart's a nice city. I don't know if they have a watch show, but
I don't think they
Dusseldorf's
do.
got
I
a
just
good
like to
watch
say
show.
Stuttgart because of the Stutt. It's the Stutt that really kind of gets me. Kesla,
Well, it's a nice. Stuttgart's a nice city.
Kesla,
It really
raise
is
your
a
hand.
nice city.
Hang on, Alex. Kesla, raise your hand when you want me to mute me. It's the fucking road noise is killing us. That's the thing. Super chat.
William Gaudrian, €2. Fike Patek Rolex. Fikers love the Pepsi. Fike Patek Rolex. Fikers, I love the Pepsi. Love the Pepsi.
Pepsi. There's a. You know what? I have owned this watch for probably about a year, and I don't think it's been on my wrist for more than 3-4 days. So I decided I'm going to wear this thing. I'm going to wear it for pushing a week. It's one of my nicer watches. I don't know why I don't wear it.
Well, I was going to say, a watch like that should be pushing other watches out of the routine.
Sadly, I have a mental illness, and I wear shitters. Well, like you, I wear shitters more than I wear good watches. So,
Hey, Longines is nice. I
have
switched
one.
off during the conversation. I switched.
have one. I have the Zulu time, the GMT.
That's a nice piece, the Zulu time.
It is, but it's an entry level, and this is not.
Say mainstream. I hate the term entry level.
Guys, what's wrong with my volume? You people are complaining about my.
It's
You're a little
bit
soft.
low. I'll increase it, Marky.
All right, you can mess with me. I don't know what happened. Sorry, guys.
Well, hey, Gents, we're getting on the top of the hour, and it is almost 2 a.m. where I am, so I'm going to bail,
thank
gentlemen.
you. Alex, thank you so much for coming on there. Alex, favorite
Well,
watch.
I have to come and genuflect to the Pope once in a while.
I gotta tell you something, Alex. I totally love your collection. You have some really expensive pieces in it. And I gotta be honest with you, that Zenith, you know, I got the factory leather strap blue, very similar to your one. I got the Zenith strap. I love it. It feels so, it's almost.
I didn't know they had a blue factory. I should go for the blue factory because I have the black factory, which I don't wear on the watch. I have a aftermarket blue.
Are you on WhatsApp, Alex?
Yes, I am. I'll send you a note of my phone number.
Okay, so do that, please, because I'll add you and send you some pics. Alex, pleasure having you on. Thank you.
Always nice. Gentlemen,
Mark,
Alex, enjoy the Sausage Fest tomorrow. I know you'll have a good time.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, man.
The pleasure is mine.
I
don't even know how to leave. Okay, there we go.
There's a button that says leave. Yeah, there you go. So a nice guy, Alex. I do like him.
I love him.
Very
You know
much-
what?
very much so.
I got to tell you, so many people, they have perpetuals, they got fancy paddocks, fancy this, fancy that. You got to realize for the average guy, even getting a Speedy is fucking expensive.
Yes, it's Speedy. What happened to the price of Speedmasters in the last 2 years? They've gone.
Well, Amiga keeps putting the
double.
prices up. In Australia, we got another price rise coming next week.
Yeah. Do you remember when you could buy a Speedy for like $3,000? A nice one? with a box?
Yes. They were such a great watch, you know.
I'm sorry, I just don't like them that much, but the prices have about doubled. So now I would never buy one because they're not worth $7,000 to me at all.
No, they're not.
But everything's gone up, Marky. You got to
They're a
remember
great
that.
Yeah,
watch,
but
though.
But the Speedies went up out of proportion to like everything else.
Yeah, when they went from the 1861 to the 3861 and added
Yeah, that's when
$1,000 to the price
Once-
and shrunk the box and everything it comes with to half size.
Yeah, remember that big,
It's like-
beautiful wooden box?
You
They
know,
don't
you're
do it?
paying
Yeah.
you're paying $1,000 extra bucks for a
I
skinnier
don't know what was
bracelet.
wooden. They weren't always wooden, Mark. They were the big black spacey
Uh-huh.
box. But
I see.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
the
no.
1861 is the big box. You
Well,
know?
do you guys know what a Seaman Master? Just the Seamaster Professional 42 millimeter now is up around 6,500 US,
Holy shit, that's.
and those were
Yeah.
like $4,000. They were like $4,000.
I- you know, Kelso, he had a Amiga, didn't you, Kelso? He had one. He was never that impressed by it. He got rid of it. He said, "Nah."
I like it. I've got two of them. I got the black and the white. I got rid of the steel, but I do. Keslo, can you talk?
I liked it. It was just a little bit. Like everyone has one. It becomes kind of boring after a while.
Well, that's true.
It's a really nice watch. There's nothing wrong with. That's a great one and done. The Moonwatch is a great piece.
No, but what
It's
about
not
the
like I dislike-
Seamaster? The Seamaster.
That's a good piece too. I like some Aquaterras. Those are respectable.
No, but the Seamaster Professional, the 42 millimeter Metas. Yeah, that one. Right.
Also nice. Also nice. Nothing wrong with those.
Yeah, I like it. It's just kind of it's a little ordinary now, and the bracelet sucks. I bet you anything the bracelet is Chinese, and I don't know why it doesn't taper. That 5-link is just not nice. But the watch is good.
Well, if you go Omega, I think you got to go on a strap.
You know what? They're rubber.
Especially the
is best.
Seamaster, you got to go rubber. Yeah,
The rubber-
and it
the
integrates
rubber-
perfectly with the case.
True.
Yeah.
True. You're right.
The deployants are good. Their deployants on rubber are nice. That's the way to go.
Rubber. Anyway, yeah.
Rubber. I got to tell you something. It's a bit of an anticlimax. I hope you guys aren't shitty, but I just couldn't do the swap. By the way, what I said yesterday was I would swap my 3 Breguets, the JLC, for the Perpetual. You know what he said to me, Keslow?
What?
No way.
Super chat.
Oh. Did he give you a
No way.
figure
He
to
said,
put on
"No way in
top?
the world." Sorry?
Did he give you a figure of cash to put on top?
He said, well, he just said to me, if we're going to do a swap, I want the World
Good
time, and I want the speedy. Sorry, world time, and I want the bluesy.
Fuck! Both?
Well, he said, how am I going to pay for it? He said he doesn't want stuff that can't sell.
A bridge
I
too
mean,
far.
you know what though? Yeah, fuck.
Super chat. William, we did that one. William Gordrian, Spike Paddock, Rolex Spikers, love the Pepsi. I got to tell you, I'm actually thinking I want to get a Breitling Super Ocean Heritage. That's what I'd like to get.
Yeah, that's cheap and cheerful.
Cheap and cheerful.
That's right.
What have you been? What have you been doing, Kessler? Are you selling? What are you doing? What happened with you?
Oh, we're just we're waiting for opportunities. No rush to do anything.
No rush. Yeah, that's the best way to go. You don't want to rush into shit, you know?
No. I did see a Patek 5205 on auction yesterday. It was naked, but it went, I want to say it went for like 26 grand.
Oh. 26 grand.
Which is basically the price of your world timer. Would you trade your world timer for a 5205 annual calendar?
No, I love the. I want to get another Patek. I don't want to get rid. I don't want to swap. You understand? That's a sideways step. You know what I mean?
No. Well, yeah, exactly. I got kind of bummed when you said he wants both the two-tone and the Patek. Because I wouldn't blame you for doing it, but because the 5320 is so good. But ideally, you'd have the two Pateks. You know, you'd add it.
You know, that's the problem, is that I just don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. It just look, I really thought about it, but I just couldn't do it. I just could not bring myself to do it.
How much does he want for the 5320 with cash?
I don't have anywhere near that sort of money. I don't have any money. I'm broke.
No, yeah, not for you. I'm just curious what he's asking.
Brocus Pocus.
He paid 73 Aussie for it, okay?
What is that, 50 US?
Okay, I'll tell you. 73, that's what he paid for it, AUD to USD. He paid 47.
Holy.
Wow, that's cheap. That is cheap. With papers?
Yeah, full set. Box, it's got the winder box, everything.
Wow, he stole that. That's bottom dollar wholesale pricing. Right.
Australia is different, you know what I mean?
I see that. My goodness. Well, I'll tell you, it's probably not often you get the opportunity to buy one of those in Australia.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I would consider that.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's a difficult.
If you don't feel good about, you gotta feel good about the deal. If you don't feel good about it, forget it. It seemed like you guys were gonna come to terms though, because he's had that watch for so long. You'd think he'd be motivated.
No, he is motivated, but just the market's tough at the moment. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? The market is very, very difficult.
Well, it's not what it was, but people are still buying.
Yeah. It's a different sort of era now. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is. That's
How's
true.
the overall economy going in
Fucked. It's very tough. It's very look. There's a lot of uncertainty. That's the problem. It's the uncertainty that's causing the trouble. See?
Well, that's the same thing. Yeah, similar to here, but the super chat.
We got a super chat. Thank you so much, Patel Philippe, getting a deal at a AC3 harder than Putin. Yes. Well, I just thought I couldn't.
Seriously.
Sorry, I am sorry.
Well, you just weren't prepared to do that particular deal because it would have just thinned the collection down and would have gutted the collection. You weren't willing to take the whole fist.
couple fingers.
See, I don't think that's the right word. I don't think you're gutting the collection. I think you're consolidating and strengthening the collection. You're solidifying the collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am.
Because, I mean, you've got 3 or 4, like dispensable watches. You got a couple of absolute keepers. You can mix and match them up into different combinations, but it just depends on how much you love them. But if you don't feel like really gung ho about the deal, that's my big red flag to just like stand pat, wait for another time, because another deal will always come your way.
Super chat.
That's for
Yeah. Hey, Patel Philippe, $2. How will OC respect you now, Paul? Well, I don't care about other OC. I don't care about OC. I don't care. I love my previous model. I love my previous model. I love my previous model World Time. I'll tell you something amazing. You know what I noticed for sale in Australia? There was a 5230, which was going for about $40,000, 40,000 Australian dollars.
Which
I
watch?
thought that was a 5230. The
the World Time. That's Tan's.
Be right
Tan's
back,
World
ladies.
Time.
Be right back.
Yeah.
I mean, you already have that watch. Maybe trade yours in for that. Would you do that? Would you?
No, I look. It's just I just noticed it was a bargain. I just thought it was a really good deal. You know what I mean?
What metal?
It was white gold.
Yeah.
They only come in white or rose, but I thought that was pretty good buying. What do you think? No?
Yeah, that's a good buy.
I kind
Full
of
set? Full set?
Yes. I'll just double check. Let me find it.
Yeah, it's interesting when you hear with paddocks, particularly. I mean, you could have a 20% swing without
I'll bring
papers.
it up. I'll bring it up on the screen. I'll bring it up. It's actually on Facebook Marketplace. The guy I found he's actually quite reasonable guy. Here we go. This is it here. 5230G World Time, 2019, 38.5 mil, and box certificate of authenticity. Missing certificate of authenticity. Oh, so it has no papers. Sorry, it's naked. Box, no papers. Okay.
Okay. That makes more sense.
It is 42 Aussie. What's that? Okay, so what is that? 42 Aussie. I'll tell you what it is. That's 27 US. 27 US.
That's I mean, that's about what they go for. That's not
27 for this is for the model after mine.
naked. Yeah, I mean 27 naked. That's probably about right. You're
You
probably
reckon?
looking around. Yeah, because it's like 30, 32 for a full set, I would imagine.
Patel Philippe, $2. Why are you not taking gold sub ideas? I am taking that seriously. The problem is I haven't found. There's none for sale that I can see. My friend's got a pre-ceramic. I don't want a pre-ceramic. I want a ceramic one. Isn't that right, Mark? Ceramic one's the one you want. I definitely. Where are you riding to, Kelso?
Oh, I'm just taking a little cruise. I was out with some buddies out in the off-road area today, San Gabriel Valley, but I'm on my way back now.
Kelso has a very, very cool motorcycle. It's a
man.
It's a kind of like an all-terrain bike. It's a great street bike.
You know, it's
you
funny.
can
They
also-
say They say that, bro, but I've taken it off-road a few times, including today, and it is fucking squirrely, bro. If you get into the soft stand, it's so heavy that if you don't carry the right momentum with you, it'll bury itself in the sand.
It is a big street bike, that's been kind of scramblered out or Dakar'd out. It is a big, heavy bike. If you had more aggressive dirt tires on
That's
the bike,
exactly right. That's exactly
it'd be a different story. But you've got like all terrain tires, so
the problem with those, I've considered putting those on, but the problem is then when I do so much riding on pavement, it's just so fucking bumpy.
That and they roll under if you're aggressive dirt tires.
You don't get good traction.
If you lean them over in a turn, they start walking. They crawl.
Exactly.
So with the tires you have, you basically have a compromise in every area. But you have a tire that'll do it all. You have one tire that will do it all, but it just won't do any of them the best.
That's exactly, and every bike is kind of a compromise if you think about it. No bike can do everything great.
Well, but most bikes aren't built to do everything like yours. Most bikes are race bikes or hooligan bikes or dirt bikes.
One or the other. Right.
They're specified. So, like, a hypermotard, some people might consider, putting dual-purpose tires and running them like you would yours, but it's more of a street hooligan bike. And then you got race bikes, and you'd never dream of putting any other kind of a tire.
I got to tell you something, Paddocks. Absolutely gorgeous watch there. Kelso, would you add one of these? Would you add a world time to your watch?
I do like that. Tan was giving me the hard sell in Geneva. He let me try his on. I do like that piece a lot. It's really nice. Would I add it? Possibly, yes.
Now, you were thinking you had some immoral thoughts about selling everything and buying a stupid apartment in some second world country. And has that idea left your brain?
No, that's still an idea.
Okay.
Not anytime soon, but maybe one day. We'll see. I don't know. It was just an idea.
Okay.
It's an interesting exercise,
Yeah, no. It is. It is interesting. We got another super chat. Patel Philippe, $5. Plastic just texted he'd sell you his gold dancer for what he bought it for.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, that's because they've fallen. They've actually fallen significant. The market is not the same as what it was,
Of course.
What did you pay for your 5320? What did you pay for? See, isn't that funny? 5230 and 5320. Wouldn't that be a good pair? Like they're both similar numbers. You know what I mean? They're an inversion.
I know what you mean. They're so different though. It's a completely different complication, different movement.
Yeah, that's what makes it so amazing. It uses the 240 micro router movement, and you've got I just think it's something you could love.
Yeah, but the sound of the 324, that full-size rotor, baby. You get that fishing reel. Zzz.
Oh, I agree. I love that rooted rotor. I love the rooters.
Exactly.
Keslow, what do you think? What's happening with your collection? Are you just holding or what?
Yeah, I'm holding.
Have you heard anything from your friend overseas?
No, actually, no. Crickets, Paul, crickets.
What about, let me ask you this. You were thinking Breguet. What's happened to Breguet?
Look, if a bargain came up and it was an amazing deal, perhaps like an auction or someone desperate, I would consider. But I'm not desperate to get anything anytime soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy with my collection. I'm really happy. I'm not dying to make any moves anytime soon.
Yeah. What do you think of this? I just think that's an amazing buy. 42 Aussie. I mean, that is so cheap. You Americans, you should really take a look at Australia. We have some bargain. Let's have a look. Australian watch marketplace. I'm just going to bring this up on the screen so you guys can have a look here. Let's have a look what's going around the traps. Let's have a look what's happening around the traps so you can see what Australia has some really good buys. Mr. GMT, $2. Arch, check your mic. You sound like shit. Yeah, I've unplugged it. I had some problems there, Mr. GMT. I'll just check this. I'm just gonna just let me double check this. I'm just checking. Plugged it in. I'm just gonna...
Hello.
Wow, there's
That sounds terrible.
the funny voice again. Paul, you fucked up your settings again. Try again. I told you not to. Now you're mute. Try it again. You're still mute. Paul, you're mute. You gotta play with your...
Z8. Let's have a look at Australia. I'm going to show you some prices here. Let's have a look. This is what's Australian watch marketplace. What's here? There's a Grand Seiko. How much is that? That is, oh fuck, 8.4. Fuck, that's not cheap. That's a white birch. There's a, oh fuck,
Wimbledon.
22,000 for a fucking Wimbledon. Fuck, that's not cheap.
Vintenier has that exact one. I like these those Russian clown watches, whatever they're called.
So oh man,
Yeah.
I have an aversion to them.
Look
I
at
think
this.
they're kinda
Here's a
cute.
beautiful
Just-
JL's 8850. 8,850. Look at that. 8,850.
That's cheap. Mike, are you afraid of clowns?
Actually, that's 5.5 now.
I don't like
5, 6,
clowns at
10.
all. No, not one bit.
The
5,
Satan's
6.
kitten. Same deal. Hates the
Fucking
clowns.
yeah.
5, 6,
Keep
guys.
them away from me.
Super chat.
Just having a look. Okay, super chat. We got a super chat. Patel Philippe, $2. Can you show me a BMW 507? What you like about it? Man, Elvis Presley had a 507. BMW 507 was the V8. They were the V8 BMW V8, and these came out to compete against the Gullwing. I think they're fucking amazing, absolutely amazing car.
Boys, I'll check to make sure
Here
we
we
didn't
go.
miss any super chats.
They're not
Oh,
fucking
man.
cheap, but these
That
are
thing is
very desirable.
absolutely gorgeous. I've never seen that car before, Archie. Thank you for bringing that up, Tan and Archie. I'm adding that to like my mental top 10 best cars I've ever seen.
Sort of looks like a cross between a Porsche and something else, like an old Jag or something.
I see Jensen Healy in the rear, or yeah.
Now,
the
Archie,
front.
real quick, did you do this one? I just want to make sure you didn't miss any.
Oops, Archie is literally gone. We've lost Archie.
BMW Z3, Z4, or Z8.
Well,
I think.
can you tell me if you guys did that one while I was gone, Mikey?
No, we didn't do that.
Okay, so guys, apparently we missed a few super chats. Archie is back, and here he is trying to come on again. Good, thank you for coming back. Real quick, we're going to catch up because we're going to work our way up backwards because we missed a few super chats while I was gone. You were not paying attention. So you please do the one that's on the board now.
Okay, we got Patel Philippe, $2, BMW Z3, Z4, or Z8. So Z3, that's the Bond one that came out in GoldenEye. Z4 was the model after that, which is but the Z8, that's the V8 Roadster. Z8 every day of the week.
Z8. All right. And now you've been
Mr.
told to check.
Hello. Thank you. Arch, check your mic. You sound like shit. Yes. My mic, this one here is played up. I've had to revert to the mic on the camera. The mic on my StreamYard camera.
Yeah, because things were going kerflooey. You sounded like a like a member of the Lollipop Guild there.
Lollipop. You remember the squirrels, the chipmunks? The chipmunks?
Yeah, like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, that was popular in the 60s, wasn't it?
And I was Dave. I was Dave and you were Alvin. That's
yes.
Alvin. Okay. Did you do this one? We're working our way
Tell
up.
Philippe $5. Plastic. Yes, I did. Just texted you. He'd sell you his gold dancer for what? This is the problem. Prices on these have fallen.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I want to tell you this.
If
I wanted to trade my bluesy, I was offered 17.5 Aussie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a $3,000 loss. I was offered 11.2 US for my two-tone bluesy. What do you think of that?
No, I don't think that's a very good price at all. I mean,
11.2 Australian.
It's a wholesale price.
11.2 US, Mike.
Yeah,
17.5 Aussie.
You'll get more from an end user. You know, that's
I think that price is crazy.
Still
a wholesale price.
You get way more for it.
He should. Yes, he should.
That's what I was questioning. I was like, that sounds like
Tell Philippe $2. Why does your audience hate the? I don't know if the audience hates the Reverso. Why do they hate the Reverso? I think they hate the master compressor I've got.
I kind of like that.
This is the whole thing. Why do they hate it? I tell you why they hate it. Because they hate anything innovative. Anything innovative that I do that's not boring. They can't handle it.
You can't handle the truth.
They can't handle it.
That's the.
What about this super chat? Super chat.
It's
up.
I'm just
going
to bring this up on the screen.
We
got Anton May, $2. Keep the dream alive, big boy. Thank you so much. Look at that. That's the master compressor. Why do they don't like that? Look at
it's big and chunky, and I think it's just it's not your typical JLC. But
like which 4 do you want? Which 4 do you want?
No,
that 4.
Well, I don't want that Zenith.
Look at that. That's a perfect 4. Bluesy. Look at that. It's got everything you'd want. You'd want a diver, a GMT, a chrono, and a dress. Boom, boom, boom. Or do you want this 4 here?
Look, I like that.
Diver.
I like.
What do you think?
I like the JLC. But no. I don't like the Zenith. I'm not crazy about the PAM unless you got it cheap. The world time is kind of you, so I would swap.
Oh, fuck. I tell you what, I bought the PAM cheap. I didn't buy it cheap enough after horse trading with these dealers.
Yeah,
I take a $1,000 loss, 1,000 Aussie with $600 loss on it. And that's after I put 2 fucking straps on it. You know this?
Yes, I do know this. Listen, if you're keeping only 4, I would say get the Speedy out of there, move the world time down there, and that's your 4. But that's just.
I was just going to say exactly the same thing.
Mike and I, great minds, think alike. I do have a question. This was put up while I wasn't here, and I'm sure you answered it, but I'd like to hear your answer. Can you address this super chat that's on the screen?
Patel Philippe, $2. Why are you not taking gold sub idea seriously?
Yeah, why?
There's none in stock I like. I want a ceramic. There's no ceramic.
Yeah. You get a 40 millimeter one, can't you?
No, not in Australia. I'm trying to. There's no
none
point
in the whole country for sale. That's outrageous.
well, I'm looking around. I got certain dealers I buy from. Otherwise, I get slaughtered. You understand?
Well, what happens if you bring one in from the States? Do you have to pay?
Well, for starters, the prices are high,
Oh,
and I got to pay GST 10% taxes. You
yeah.
wouldn't do that. See, there's no reason to do that.
You got to buy it in the country.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm trying to get out of. I'd have to trade some of my stuff to afford it. I don't have enough money at the moment. I don't have any money. I'm trying to. You know what watch I was told I could sell easily, Mark?
Which could you sell easily? Well,
That Reggae Traditional. That's actually apparently pretty easy to flip, I've been told. That's
I would
quite
imagine so, because how many of them are in Australia? And if you're in Australia, you got to buy in Australia. So I would imagine some rich guy would take that off your hands.
We got Patel Philippe. Another super chat's just come in. $5. Arch, this was always how it was to be. You would buy shit and then you'd get mad at lowballing of your shit.
That's totally true.
Yeah, but it was from punters. Now it's from the dealers. You know, it is true.
Well, now that he's actually trying to sell them off, yeah, it's now
sell to the punters. You know, you love the punters.
Yeah, I mean the punters like gave him little rib jabs, right? But
yes.
now it's like, you know, shit or get off the pot time. You know?
Exactly, Mikey.
Exactly.
That's what annoys me a bit, is that nobody's factored in my feelings, do they?
Feelings.
I do.
Whoa. Feelings.
I don't. Yeah, I've never tried to only manipulate your feelings into cheering you up. Sometimes when you're down, I've never said anything negative or tried to piss you off or
No, you're a good friend, Mikey.
It's just not what I do.
I got to be honest with you. Looking at this photo there, I don't really want to get rid of anything there. I like that box.
Archie, you got to get rid of that fucking Pam, okay?
What's wrong with the Pam? I love it.
I know, but it's to me, it just screams wrong. And yeah, some of the deals that have been offered to you for, like what you were talking about yesterday, like you were able to keep 2 brigades maybe, and walk away. What was you're looking at?
That Vacheron program, but that Vacheron's going to be very hard to sell.
But all the watches you got are going to be hard to sell, unless it's a solid gold Submariner. Okay, then it'll be nice and easy to sell.
Yo, Mike.
Yeah.
Do you ever take your car through the tunnels? Do a little rip?
Oh yes, you got the Echo. The Echo.
Totally.
Little rip for Mikey.
Nice.
I thought that meant fun. Well,
Good
Mark,
stuff. Good stuff, man.
Mark the Shark will buy your bluesy for 12, and Mark, you have to pay the shipping. It's probably about $250, $300 US. Then you'll have to pay import duties on the way in, but just go ahead and you can do a wire transfer to the pocket. RG Luxury 72.
Yeah, the prices are just so terrible, Marky. The prices are. Look, I honestly, I think the problem is too. That bluesy, Patel Philippe, $2. Thoughts on the Pagani Zonda?
Come on.
I love the Zonda. What do you think?
Well, the Pagani is they make basically they make
supercar.
Yeah, it's an
Because
absolute
there is a Pagani
mega
watchmaker, and it's all
supercar.
Chinese. We know that's it.
No, it's a basically bespoke mega supercar.
How do you get
Yeah.
that thing fixed, but?
Oh, you probably fly in the mechanic and have him fix it at your house. You know, because if you're rich enough to buy a fucking Zonda, you're rich enough to just fly the mechanic in. You know.
We got a super
Well,
chat here. Anton May, $5. How about flipping the JLC, the PAM, the Zenith, the Type 20, the 7147, and getting yourself a sexy reverso calendar? I think that's a winner chicken. That is a great watch. I don't know if I want to get rid of that stuff, but that's so many pieces for a
reverso, no.
They're soft as shit. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
Mm-mm.
I don't really want to do that. What do you think, Mikey?
What do you think, Mikey?
Well,
would you do that? Look at that. Flipping a JLC, a PAM is well. Why would you need to flip so many to get a bloody reverso calendar? There's nothing special about that.
Yeah, no, I feel exactly the same way. I forgot that I was muted.
Fuck, I don't know why you
change all of these three for a fucking reverso. I don't care what reverso it is. Okay, no, not all those three. Very potentially liquid watches, and you're turning them into one watch that you probably would have trouble selling, and wouldn't get your money back out of.
100%. 100%.
There's other watches I would say yes to, but not this one. Not a reverso. And don't get me wrong, I love reversos. When I first discovered them, I did not realize how small they were. So I read up on them and I looked at them and I pored over the pictures and everything. And then when I finally got one in my hands, it was this little, I had to put my reader glasses on just to see the watch itself. It was that fucking small to me. But then I discovered they make a really big reverso, that does fit my wrist. So
we got another super chat here. Show me a car that shares headlights with the Diablo 6.0. Show me a car that shares the headlights.
With the Diablo 6.0.
That's the pop-up ones, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I haven't really studied up on hypercars. I've spent more energy towards 50s, 60s, 70s cars. Are kind of like my base main knowledge, but I know also about new modern cars. That are you build them, and then you have them all controlled by a ECU box, and that's just a whole nother way to do an engine. But that way I can do as well. I've done that personally. I've done it both ways. I've built hot rod engines with a big carburetor, and I've also built modern engines. Into hot rods with ECUs, and having them dyno tuned and all that.
I got no idea who shares those headlights.
I'm not sure if they're one above the other, 4 headlights. I'm thinking there was a Pontiac that came out like a 63 or 4.
Are we going to show him a picture? Because isn't that what he's asking?
Oh, here we go. A Lamborghini Diablo 6 and the Nissan 300ZX share the same fixed composite headlights. Lamborghini used these headlights in the Diablo facelift. The Nissan headlights were repurposed for the Diablo to reduce production costs and to improve the design. Wow.
Want to bring a picture
Fucking
up?
fun fact.
Ooh.
You know, the 300ZX.
Well, I think I saw a short where somebody pointed out that like the blinker light or the side light is $189. Just a little plastic lens, that gets cracked or broken,
Yeah.
from Lambo or from Ferrari or something. But then they looked at the lens itself and it said Nissan on it, right? And so they went to
Yeah.
the Nissan dealership and they found it for like $599, and they were just literally using. I think it was an
There you
an
go. Look at this.
Audi R8 was using they were charging $150 for a $3 part.
Incredible stuff. And we've got another super chat here. This is from Patel. Watch Nerd Nick, $9.90 Malaysian ringgits. I love the ringgits. That's where our good friend Erwin's from. Sell the PAM, the JLC, the ZF, and all three Breguets. Well, let me tell you. Let me just tell you something. The dealers gave me a price of the watches, okay? Let me work this out for you. I'll tell you what they offered me, okay? I'll tell you what they offered me, and you can see how much money they would give me for these watches. So I said to the dealer, how much would you buy these from me for? Okay? The PAM, 6,000 Aussie. I lose $1,000. The JLC, 15,000. I lose 1,400. The Zenith, I get 5,500 for it. The three Breguets, 12,000 Aussie on the Type 21. 19 on the 7057 and 17,000 on the, so actually that could pay for the perpetual. Those watches could do a perpetual. That's what he wanted. PAM, JLC, Zenith, and three Brett. That's exactly it. That gets me the perpetual.
I thought you said he wouldn't take that.
That's what I tried to get, right? But he said they're not really, because the numbers added up. Do you understand, Kessler?
Right, but he wants to win a little bit. So how much does he need to win by?
He said he wants a couple watches that are fucking saleable and not so toxic.
What if you give him $3,000 on top?
I'll ask him. Anton made $2. Cash in the bank, big boy. Good point.
So the wind was pretty bad, Marky?
The what, where, when?
Earlier, the wind was bad on the
Oh,
bike.
yeah. We had dust storms and crazy.
I gotta figure out a way, because I've heard guys do it, and you can't hear shit. I gotta figure out a way to. Maybe I need.
Canceling.
Oh, you were talking about your wind noise. Yeah, no, you're because we had windstorms out here for the last 2 days. But no, your motorcycle road noise, wind noise was was a problem.
Next time I'll straighten it out.
Yeah, I mean, you might need to consult a sound engineer. You know anybody?
I've seen other guys do it. You can't hear shit, but I'm not sure. I'll have to play with it.
I'm just
find out
bragging
what they're
here because
using, Kelso.
you're
No, they have the same thing. I think I got to do something in the settings of YouTube.
Yes. Kelso,
Super
Ramsey
chat.
A, $10. $10, Ramsey A. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ramsey. Ramsey A, the A that is Rams E. We appreciate this. You know why? Because we got to keep the Pontiff on YouTube. What is it, 12 years now? 12 years on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit! It must be time to go. Is it that time already, Doc? Are you early?
I might be a little early, guys. How's it
Well,
going?
we're glad to have you. Thank you for joining us. But it's
Well,
not time
welcome.
to,
Hop in. The water's warm.
I have to admit, I'm
because I peed in it.
I'm mostly confused about one thing, and that is whether, Archie, you're completely contented with the notion of selling off your Breguets. Is there any indecision in that, or you're completely contented that you
I'd sell the Breguets if I could keep my world time and get the perpetual.
But there's no hesitation in selling your Breguets. That's an easy move for
Well,
you.
it's not easy. It's not easy. But what can I do if I want to get a perpetual?
Life is not easy. And Watch Nerd Nick has a super chat on this exact topic.
Watch Nerd Nick, $10. Sell them already and give Dave some cash on top.
Do it.
And we got Ramsey A, another $10.
Well,
Thank
that
you
gives you
so
some
much.
cash. Ramsey A with $10, which equals $20.
$20.
$20. Thank you, Ramsey A, the A that is Ramsey. Very nice indeed. Mucho apreciado. Mostly because, you know, the algorithm, it's not easy, is it, Doc? It's not easy. It's hard.
It's getting harder every day.
You know, that is true, but that's got a lot to do with testosterone therapy. I'm just going to say. It's like the magic bullet, Doc. At what age, Doc, as a chiropractor, do you ever tell patients to go take TRT? I'm just curious.
Well, I can't tell them that because that would be illegal. I tell them they should go to their doctor about it.
And yeah, but you know, wink, wink. You know, you're kind of pushing them in that direction.
I underwent low T. I took the injections.
Oh, you could just get the cream. You just rub it on.
Well, that's what I'm doing next time because I actually had complications due to one of my injections because I have my blood thinners, and I think the doctor said I nicked a vein in my butt cheek. And
you had bleeding.
It turned into it kept bleeding.
Got a hematoma.
Yeah, but luckily it just went down, but it got really, really fucking big before it went down.
Doc, as a chiropractor, I know you're not familiar with the term hematoma, but we in the medical profession use that when we talk about internal bleeding, sub-Q.
Blood bag.
Sub-Q.
It's a blood bag.
Look at me teaching the doc. Okay, super chat.
Oh, the chat's going to go crazy.
Super chat. Mark the shark $2. Let me know when you're ready to sell the blues. I will definitely let you know. I will. I'm looking at after June 30. Okay.
After June 30. So, you know, stay in the game, Mark the Shark. The only problem that I foresee is, you know, you got shipping and import duty to pay coming, you know. But
no, you're right, Mark. You are 100% right.
But I think it's smaller duty on used stuff. Like I brought a watch in from Japan before the tariffs hit, and it was only like $50. Now I don't know what it is now.
It wasn't huge for the Super Ocean Heritage that Archie sold me.
Yeah, but that was before Trumpflation. So now it might be a little bit more, right?
Well, little.
Yeah.
And Rolex is always a problem. Shipping Rolex is different to Breitling shipping. I've got to be honest with you.
Oh, well, Rolex is superior to most of them. So, yeah, a lot of them, they probably have no idea.
No, Rolex is a pain in the ass to ship. Okay.
Why is that? You're afraid? You mean because
it stands out like dog's balls? Breitling, they don't. Well, they know Breitling, but it's not as.
Yeah, they don't know if Breitling is really worth anything, which obviously we know it's not. And so, but Rolex,
I will be back. Talk to Doc. I'll be back.
Well, Doc, you know, Doc, I think he's a little bit gun shy ever since the Chicago Mafia stole that Explorer, that 4-digit Explorer. He had a Steve McQueen, right? And that got stolen by the Chicago Mafia.
Well, I put together a little video for him for the Breguet, and I was suggesting he watch it to get the Breguet out of his system.
Oh.
Or maybe it's not out of his system. He can't do it. He just can't do it. One or the other.
Now, did you WhatsApp it to him? You said you sent him a video. How'd you do it?
I think I just sent the link.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can send it. So if you want to see it, I can. It's just a 1 minute. All it is the Breguet commercial, but he's in it instead of.
Yes. Well, no,
whoever's-
good. You know what? Just send him the link to that. We'll call his attention to his WhatsApp when he gets back.
I'm just putting it in the what is it called? The chat.
Oh, I see.
Private chat.
The problem is, okay, then.
Oh, it does. It works better. It's a YouTube. So
Well, no, I get it, but the problem is going to be me figuring out how to present it, meaning how to get it. You know, I can do it.
It's easier for you if it's a WhatsApp. Is that what you're saying?
You send it to Archie because then he does it all the time.
Because he knows what to do with it.
That correct, exactly. I mean, I can figure it out, but
as could I, but I still haven't. I haven't figured out how to.
I think you need
the narc when he says full screen, full screen.
Yeah, you see, the thing is exactly. You need keys to do it. I don't know how it works. To be honest with you, I can muddle my way through, but I don't know.
You
Honestly,
just click on the thing he presents. It's not that hard.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna click on the thing.
What do you mean? You click on the thing?
Okay, I just clicked it. Hold on. Now I got to go back into StreamYard, and I got to say present, and I got to say share screen, share screen, share screen.
This is if you're trying to share your screen.
I am. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
And then I got to say
you choose the tab.
Allow StreamYard to see your screen.
Yes, do that. And then choose the tab.
Okay, hold on. Calm down, everybody. Safari. I put it. Is it in Safari? I think it's on Safari. Okay, it's getting complicated, but I'm gonna try it.
Safari. StreamYard doesn't like Safari.
It doesn't.
For some
I
reason.
see that it does not. Okay, so let me click.
You got to go Google Chrome or.
What is it in? I don't even know what it put it in. What is it? Oh, it's in Firefox. Okay, hold on.
Firefox.
Try again. Yeah. We're gonna go back to StreamYard. And we're going to say present, and we're going to say share screen, and we're going to say select Firefox.
Good Lord. Boomers.
I know, right? Well, at least I don't have like road noise from my from my Bluetooth that I don't know how to use. You know what? It's not giving me the Firefox option. So you know what? Fuck this thing. I'm done.
What are you trying to present? What do you want to do?
It's in the private chat. Just go into the private chat.
Okay, private chat, bada bing. Oh God, more Breguet bullshit. All
right. It's only what we were talking about.
Come on, you millennial, you figure it out. There we go. Share screen. Share screen.
How is Kelso doing it?
I don't know. He's young.
Archibald, we got a new Breguet vid. Pay attention.
Oh, yes, this is the duck one.
Hideous. Oh!
He's making a leather gimp suit.
Very nice work. Very nice work. Thank you, Doc.
Terry Button, welcome
to
the program.
Greetings,
Terry.
Good evening. How are you?
Now, the only problem with that, Doc, is you're going in the wrong direction. Okay, we're trying to steer the Pontiff back to Paddock.
No, you don't understand.
So,
my suggestion was that he watch the video, and when it has no significant effect on him, he's ready to sell the Breguets.
Yes. The floor is yours, Terry.
Yeah. So I was listening to Archie, okay, and I was listening what he was saying about the Samana. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion about the watch, okay? I will say this, okay? If you want a solid go Samana with a blue dial, okay, don't buy it with the date. Do not buy another Samana with the date. The reason why I say that, if you look around at the market internationally, okay, the no-date Samana is actually becoming more popular. It's more popular. Rather you buy it with a red dial, a silver dial, a white dial, a green dial, whatever. It looks more proper if you buy it without the date function. The reason why I say that too is because you look at Roger Moore and Sean Connery in the Bond films, they had a no-date Samana. So that's why you need a no-date sub, period. And here's the thing too. The Samana, as people know, the Samana is the most popular dive watch in the world, period. It is, okay? Regardless if it's up against the Blancpain 50 Fathoms, the Omega Seamaster, whatever else is on the market.
Oh, so Terry, dime a dozen.
Terry, the boys want to know if you've been drinking, just as a point of order.
Or if it's just natural.
Just natural.
You do seem to be slurring your words a little bit more than usual. We just wondered if you were drinking.
So I think, and I appreciate your apology, Mr. Goldberg. I really do.
But what did I do? I don't know what I'm apologizing for. Honestly, what did I didn't.
But it was nice of you to do it anyway.
Well,
actually, it wasn't so much you. It was Mr. Knock.
Okay.
Mr. Knock was very rude.
He's a bastard. You know, at the best of times, he's a bastard.
So, but I think the most important point I'm making is that Archie would agree with me on this. Because if you look at the market all over the world, the most popular Samanas have no date function. Period. They don't.
What do you mean the most popular? According to who? I don't
know.
What's your point? Okay, it's more popular. That means you should get it because everyone has it?
No. I think if Archie really wanted to spice it up, okay, is that he should get a red dial Samana, no date. Or if he really likes the blue, no date. But specifically the red dial Samana, no date. Do you know why? Because it's very popular. But not as popular as the black dial. Now, the black dial, okay, they sell a lot of those, okay? And here's the thing. If you notice this like with Tudor has almost every single dive watch they sell, no date, right? So if you spice it up a bit with that purple dial, that red dial.
All right, Terry, I'm sorry. You're hijacking the show, bro. I have some content I want to share with Archie. You're going in the wrong direction, Terry. The guy's had every Rolex you can think of. He's not going to buy some old fucking sub now. It's too late. You're too late. That ship has passed.
Terry, I'd like to point out it wasn't
Archibald.
Offensive this time.
Yes, sir.
Can I get your attention, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You have it.
I have something important to show you. There's a golfer named Keith Mitchell. He has an amazing collection, okay? And you need to hear from him. I just want to share a quick clip.
Share screen.
I'm not sharing. I'm
Share
sorry.
Screen.
Stand by.
Fuck.
Can't wear it every day, but man.
So I don't know if you're familiar with Keith Mitchell. He's a professional golfer. He's a really good golfer. And watching this interview, I found out he seems pretty cool. Amazing collection.
Patek. 5320G.
Yep.
Salmon dial.
Lovely.
This was when I kind of knew. It's like
now we're deep. We have a problem now.
Well, a perpetual calendar Patek.
Yep. It's a real watch. Not that Rolex is not a real watch, but this is a real watch. Yeah.
You know, this is like Mount Olympus of the watch world. When you have a
Mount Olympus. Do you hear that? Mount Olympus of the watch world.
Tech perpetual calendar. This obviously came later in my career after the relationship with Josh. So, you know, there's anyway.
You put some work into that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's the salmon too. I know salmon's the hype, right? Especially after your
Could you
friend
just pause
showed
it for
his
1
on the
minute?
Talking
Pause it. I want to
Watches,
show you something.
5004.
Pause it. Just go back to where they're sitting in the lounge.
Sitting in the lounge.
It's the back button.
Yeah, the background, just the background. You see that book on the shelf there? I gave that fucking book to Patel. It's called Patek Minute Repeaters. Next to his forehead there. Look.
Ah, yeah.
Minute Repeaters. I gave that to
obviously-
Zeal.
And he
Was
went
it-
and gave it to these guys.
Did you glue it together? Like the Louis Vuitton you gave the Zeal, which was all glued together with Gorilla Glue?
Came later in my career after the relationship with Josh. So
Who's
you know,
Josh?
There's
Okay, well now he's in the
Anyway,
business
put some
now. I
work
think
into
he's
that.
I think he's partnered with this guy Josh, and they're into watches somehow.
Did you see what Terry quietly said about your Patek?
What did he say?
He said Patek is nice if you're over 60.
No, that's how it used to be. That's how it used to be, but now they're coming around. That was true in the 90s.
All the rich millennials want a Patek now.
Sure they do.
Well, they realized that was a problem. They realized all their customers were over 60, and they've made changes.
It's the salmon too. I know salmon's the hype, right? Especially after your friend showed his on the Talking Watches.
Does this guy look 60?
This is the 5004.
Oh yes.
He's approaching.
Yeah,
that's a good
and
one.
he's like, "Hey, this is salmon."
Yeah,
and that's
okay.
kind of like, that's
He's got
pretty
this
cool.
as well.
And
No, it was the inspiration for one of the. He's saying why he bought it.
what I love about this watch is I bring like 4 or 5 straps with me everywhere I go with it.
Yeah.
And you can use it really, it's a chameleon, I should say.
Yeah.
Because
That's the thing, Paul. It's a chameleon. You get several straps. It's a strap monster. It's gonna take all those 5 watches. This will do what those do and better. You're gonna be so much happier. You're gonna
Is
be
this
so
golf
much
guy,
happier.
is he like a senior tour guy?
No, Keith Mitchell. Are you kidding me? He's legit.
salmon.
I
And it's
didn't
white
say he
gold.
wasn't legit.
Salmon
He's
kind
just
of
senior tour.
He's mid 30s.
blends. It's white
What?
gold, so it doesn't really stand out. And you
Yeah, he's 33 or 5, 33 or
put a
35.
gray strap.
guy sitting on the
you can
couch
have a
getting
baby blue
interviewed.
strap for the summer that I feel like
Yeah, that guy on the right is born in the 90s.
Holy cow. What the heck happened?
a watch
All right.
that's so
You're getting old, Doc. People are moving up on you.
The
No,
millennials
this
are
guy
pushing
does not
40.
look like he's 30. He does not look 30.
What does he look, younger or older?
He looks older.
He's 35. You know, the millennials are about to hit 40. That's their next big birthday.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
as that phrase
He
that,
let
himself go a
that,
little bit,
is
I guess.
used often when you get one, kind of tones it down a little bit.
Agreed.
And I feel like I can wear this.
Archibald, this is for you. What are you doing?
I like his Cartier. Did you notice his Cartier tank he's wearing?
He's very classy.
This
He's got a good
watch.
collection.
very casually with the different
He looks
with
30.
the colored straps. I can wear it very formally with like a black alligator or this navy, and I don't feel like it's as big as it really is. If
Understood.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I get
okay,
that.
hang
I mean,
on a
that
second.
is-
Hang on.
And what he means by that is the hierarchy of this piece. Okay.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. The kitten is almost 30, right? Right, Mark?
He says that his age is between him and his doctor. Even his mother doesn't know his actual
There's
age.
no way this guy looks like kitten.
Well, thank you. I think that's high praise.
I'm just saying it's not even a close match there. This guy looks older than 30.
He does.
Here we go. Watch Nick. Bro, I'm trying to sell him, bro. Oh, here we go. $100.
$100.
$100.
£100.
Oh, 100 pounds. Yeah, you're right.
Mark, you're gonna hurt yourself.
This could be a regular thing that he does outside of the channel.
100 pounds.
All the dogs are freaking out.
Archibald, would you like to read your 100-pound super chat?
Yes, sir. 100 pounds. Arch, 3-watch collection. 1 Patek, 1 Rolex, 1 independent. 1 on rubber, steel and croc, no budget.
Great question. Take your time.
Okay, I would have to say
dun,
320 would be my Patek. The Perpetual is amazing.
No budget. No budget.
Yeah, no, that's I'm happy with that. I like it. Okay, I like it.
He's never been greedy. He's never been greedy.
Solid gold sub as the Rolex.
What? That's your best? That's the best you can come up
No,
with?
I'm perfectly happy with a solid gold sub. I think that is the most beautiful precious metal Rolex.
Can you get the Le Mans? Can you get the
Wait,
Le
wait,
Mans?
I'm not interested. I don't want it. I want Mark Goldberg's fucking gold sub.
Rainbow
And as an
Daytona.
independent, I want a Havana FP Jaune.
How about a Rainbow
Good choice.
Daytona?
Good choice. I'll give you credit on the third one.
Yeah,
Rainbow
but-
Daytona, when you see it in person, it is a little gaudy.
That is it. That is it.
I agree with the Rolex for sure, and there's
Even I want a
the-
Rainbow Daytona compared to a sub.
independent wise,
Little
there's
gaudy.
a few other companies.
So am
that-
I. That's okay. You say that like it's a bad thing.
Marky, I'd be
Buddy,
perfectly happy with your golds. That's all that's perfect. The
Yeah,
blue
but would you rather
contrast-
listen? Somebody offered you a Rainbow Daytona or my gold sub. You got to pick one. What are you gonna do?
Well, if it came from you, I'd take the gold sub.
It might have my
Marky,
DNA in there or
I gotta
something.
tell you something. Seriously,
Yes.
You could be cloned. Be careful.
everybody wants a Le Mans or a Rainbow because it's so valuable. But if you were to actually use the fucking thing,
Yeah, you'd be afraid to walk around in it.
no. It's not about afraid. I love the gold sub.
The gold sub is a usable piece.
Man, the gold sub is better than a day date, in my opinion.
I'm losing faith in this whole quote unquote Pontiff thing.
And the,
No, and I tell
the
you,
bezel on a Daytona is stationary.
Kelso,
That's a bit.
if I had a choice of see, the thing is, if you go perpetual calendar chronograph, it's manual wind, right?
Right.
Your Patek, it's automatic. You just wear the fucking thing. You understand? You just wear it.
Sure. But there's plenty of grand comps that are.
It's enough. It's enough, man. It's enough.
You're right. It is. But the question was no budget. The question is no budget, not what's enough.
No, but and an FP. I like the Havana. I really like the Havana. You know the Havana.
Of course.
Kessler?
Yes.
I think that's just. I love the browns. Right. That's it. That's enough. That's enough.
You wouldn't, as you're independent, you wouldn't pick the Tusser. What is it, Jose and Cuervo? What is that stupid watch he has?
I love him. He's a great guy.
And he defends that fucking Cuervo watch.
Yeah. No. He's cool. He's cool.
All right. Well, listen, 99 pounds from Maldives. Thank you. That was 99 pounds.
We got a super chat. Patel Philippe, $14. Terry Boston. Good evening, sir. I have one question. Why are Ferrari prices sinking faster than AC3 in a Durban bunny cow?
Because people are buying them used, so they prefer to buy them pre-owned over buying them brand new, unless they can really come in ahead and buy them brand new. Rolex, if Ferrari, a lot of people buy them pre-owned over new. So that's the thing of it. Unless they can seriously afford it, It's just like with Lamborghini. The luxury car market isn't what it was 5 years ago. It really isn't. Unless you're a billionaire looking to unload a quick £500,000,
And back to watches, by the way, Mark would not be interested in a 16610. He's not a pre-ceramic guy.
No, I had an old Daytona. I didn't like it. I like my new one better, but I don't even love it.
What do you think of this comment, Paul? Belnar, I wouldn't get the Patek Perpetual unless it had a chronograph.
Yeah, no. I love the chronograph ones, but they're all manual wind. They're not automatic. Like just for
Not
you
only
to do
that,
it.
not only that. Have you tried a 5270 on? It's huge.
That's got to be a crazy service
I don't
cost.
mind the size, but I got to tell you something.
What she said.
The automatic. The thing I love about the 5320 is it's one of the few paddocks, one of the few perpetual from paddock that has a second hand, center seconds.
Yeah.
Which is fucking beautiful.
Let me ask you this, just to give him some value, because he gave you 100. It wasn't even $100. It was 100 pounds. Fuck me, dude. Let me ask you.
Maldives.
So you're saying 5320. What if someone said, "Hey, I got a split-second chronograph for you"? Wouldn't you take that over it?
They're often a bit small.
Let me show you one. Let me show
What
you
about
the
a
current collection.
Ponte?
Look,
No,
look.
I'm going to show you a
For
piece.
me, I'm just telling you, right? Look, you can get carried away, right? I'd be happy with just a standard perpetual like the boys have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it. I mean, it's something I can use. You know what I mean?
5370R. That's a 41 mil. It's not small.
This is supposed to be the dream team, the dream collection.
But it's a manual.
Why do you want another Patek?
Sorry? We always want more.
Well, the super chat, it's about the super chat, Terry, which calls for him to pick a Patek, a Rolex, and an Indy.
Oh, I love the Breguet numerals, don't you? But I think, look, there's nothing that would be great in a collection. But if you've got one Patek, I'd really want to get a World Time or a Perpetual. I'm sorry, that's just my thing. Okay.
Sure. No, that's fair.
Look, this is incredible. And speaking of incredible, it's time to wrap this baby up. 2-hour show. I want to thank everybody, especially Maldives. Maldives, that really helps us a lot. We've had a fucking shitty couple of weeks, and I really do appreciate that. Without your support, it's hard to run the shows, and it's very important. I want to thank Patel Philippe, Dirk Diggler, Patel Philippe, William Gaudrian, Rusty's Watches. Check it out, rustyswatches.com. William Gaudrian, Patel Philippe, Mr. GMT, Patel Philippe, Anton May.
Quick question,
Patel
Archie.
Philippe.
Samana 16610.
Just 1 minute. Watch Nerd Nick, Anton May, Ramsey A, Watch Nerd Nick, Ramsey A, Mark the Shark, Maldives, and Patel Philippe.
Patel Philippe, also a hero tonight. Also your hero, Patel Philippe.
Guys, thank you so much. What's your question, Terry? Let's grab this question.
Yes,
Before we hit the
Rolex
questions, make sure
Samana
everybody
model
hits the thumbs up, please.
16610, Ferrari red dial. Look at it.
Why Ferrari red? That's not a factory.
Rolex.
I don't understand. That's not factory.
What do you think?
He doesn't like aftermarket mods.
Yeah, I'm not a very keen on. They have that new Tudor, which has got they've changed the color. It's actually not a black dial, it's burgundy.
Yeah.
The tampon, as I like to call it. I like it. I love that watch. I'd like to get one.
No, I don't like that Ferrari. No, that's hideous. That's hideous.
Why is it hideous, though?
Can we all see what you're talking about?
No, because you get into trouble for showing that stuff because it's kind of
because it's a lot of work.
Is that bad, huh? Is that bad?
No, because it's but no. Why would you go? The Tudor. If you want a red dial diver, get the Tudor, the new Tudor. They got that red. That red. With that said, that's the show for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Unless they take a day off. I don't know. I've got something I've got to do tomorrow. I'll just see how it pans out.
Day off. Personal day.
Cheerio.
Day off. I'll put a message up. See you later, guys.